Paul, first of all, how are your nerves after that last half hour?
Yeah, shredded. Unbelievable game of cricket. Look, I think at one stage we were struggling, and then we saw two outstanding innings from two very talented young players in Joe Pocklington and Rob Lord, who both got us back into that game. Then we saw Brett take on a little bit more responsibility as things went on, and to end up with a tie feels like a good deal better than it could have been if we'd lost. So, look, I think we did a lot well today. There was so much more than we could have done better as well. So we're not kidding ourselves on that front. But overall, we've had a really positive experience of the last two games.
Have you learned something about some of those players today as well? I guess being put in that situation under that pressure. Yeah,
and hopefully, more importantly than that, they learned something about themselves. And that's the most important thing. I think you see guys go out there and thrive. Some of Rob Lord's ball striking, the way Joe Pocklington built his innings at a time when there was no hope really. You've got to rebuild that hope through playing the way he did. To get us to a position where we thought we could win was a really positive thing to be able to do. And look, you're always going to be in a position where you think what might have been if one of those balls had squirted past a fielder or we'd made contact and we could easily have won the game. It easily could have gone the other way as well. So I think all things considered, a tie is probably just about right.
Joe has made an impact with the bat today and with the ball a couple of days ago as well. What does it take from a player to almost sort of be introduced to his teammates maybe 4 days ago and then go in and put in those performances?
Well, it tells you a lot about him as a lad. It tells you that he's got a lot about him. It tells you that he's a skillful boy. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to handle himself around the group. It wasn't his day with the ball, but he went out there and he tried to do something with the bat, and he built a partnership that then got us back into the game. And then they took it on from there. And on another day we would have got over the line. On another day we might have lost that game as well. So there's all these variables at the minute. And once the emotion subsides a little bit, I think we'll sit down tonight and say 2 points earned.
Talked about some of the younger players in the group there, but on Tuesday it was one of your more experienced players in Tom Moores who played a big part in getting the team over the line. How important has his presence been as part of that dressing room?
Yeah, look, I think that's the fickle nature of cricket. Like he ends up with the first ball duck today. He plays the world-class innings he played the other day. So we take it for what it is. I think he's obviously got a lot of knowledge and a lot of nous. I know he's desperately keen to do well and continue his good form. That's been great to hear. We're delighted to have him in the team, and he's a fantastic player in this format. So yeah, we look forward to seeing him go on from strength to strength. But we've got a lot of good players down the line. That's the really exciting thing for me. I've watched a cross section of guys over the last two games play really well. Now it's about making sure we start to string those consistent performances together, keep growing as a team. We look forward to going to Derby on Sunday.
It was notable, particularly in that last half hour here today, that the crowd were really into that game and outground. The crowd so close to the team as well and the players. What's that experience been like for all of you this week being back here at Welbeck?
It's been fantastic, and I can only pay credit to the volunteers and to everybody that's managed to get these two games on and play as well as we did. To give them something to shout about, to give them reason to support us, to give the lads the lift that they need in situations on the field. It was a great way to finish. We're always happy to come here. They always make us feel really welcome, and that's been no different this week. We certainly look forward to coming back again in the future.
And in terms of putting on a show for North Nottinghamshire, I suppose that last hour certainly did the trick there.
Yeah, it did. I think a few of them were probably sneaking out. I think one or two of them fancy catching the early bus, but they might regret it now. I think so, yeah. Look, you hope that white ball cricket's going to be entertaining. You hope that it's going to give you loads of twists and turns like 50 over cricket can. You hope that it's going to give you all the action that you desire, whatever you want to be as a supporter. And I think you've seen it all today. You've seen great bowling, you've seen great batting, you've seen some excellent fielding at times. You've also seen guys, when put under pressure, they've been able to handle it. And I'm really proud of the team. I'm really proud of how everybody's come together over the last few days. And we've got off to a really solid start, so I'm happy with where we're at.